Hello, dear. How are you today? By the way, I spoke with Mr. Johnson, and he's livid. Seems someone scratched up his priceless tucker. If he finds out who, there'll be heck to pay. Did you hear what happened at the barber shop? Someone broke into Pastorelli's salon and took his antique barber's pole. The next morning, Pastorelli touched some live wires that the thief left lying around and was electrocuted. Well, that darn foreigner got what he deserved, if you ask me, coming into a nice little town like Harvest and stealing business. Heavens, if a bowl and scissors were good enough for your father, I don't see why decent working folk need a fancy wop styling their hair. That's how it goes. First you get a sissy trim, then bang, you're a communist. I hear those silly firemen broke out the axes and hacked each other to death. Things never were the same between them after the firehouse robbery. Oh well, maybe now we'll get some real men for the fire department. Though the way things are going, I doubt you'll be around to see it.
What do you mean?
Can't you feel it? The way the stalks whisper in the autumn wind? It's almost harvest time, Steve, when the chaff will be cast aside before the feast. Congratulations, hero. You found Karen after all.
You don't seem proud, Mother. I wonder why.
I warned you not to waste time looking for her.
Am I running out of time?
The blood drive is coming soon.
What does that have to do with anything?
If you haven't joined the lodge by then, you'll find out. Still, I'm glad you found the poor baby. She says Mr. Potsdam was responsible for what happened to her. What a silly little girl. Neither can I. She should be spanked for being such a nasty little liar. But I guess being buried alive is good enough. Isn't it exciting, Steve? 5 days and 1,200 cookies later, the bake sale is already here. Where does the time fly?
Those 1,200 cookies. How many are you taking to the sale?
Oh, about 20. The rest were stale. But the effort wasn't wasted. It's for a good cause. Will you be at the school tonight? That's nice, dear. It's good to be open to new experiences.
Don't you think it's odd, having a bake sale to pay for burying out-of-towners?
Gosh, hooties, what should we do? Leave them in the streets?
Of course we should bury them. But why do so many out-of-towners drop dead in Harvest?
I have wondered about that, and I think it has something to do with the air.
But there's nothing wrong with the air. It's perfectly clean.
That's what I mean. Big city folk, they get so used to smog that clean air is a shock to their systems. Gets them every time. Don't forget to put the papers out for Jimmy. You know how he gets.
Hey, Steve, you've been doing a swell job putting the paper out in the morning. You just keep doing that and we won't have any problems. That's not much to ask, is it?
And here it is, the object Dodd, imported Venetian glass and Italian dreams. You have done well. An unfortunate side effect that Pastorelli was electrocuted because you left live wires in a puddle on the floor. But as those with affectations of worldliness say, c'est la vie. Yes, a barber cut down in his prime. Of course, you only wanted the pole, but that hardly matters now. Your final assignment is to set a fire in DNA's diner and let the French fry where they may. Yes, I suggest you succeed. Beyond that,
Think about taking some of that siding off my hands, son. I'll cut you a nice price on it. I was the one what found Pastorelli this morning after he stepped in the water with the live wires hanging out. His body was so burnt his arms and legs was blackened, fused together, and the sheep was well done too. Problem is, both was burnt so bad, and the flesh all crisp and distorted, limbs melded. You couldn't tell 'em apart. And well, I didn't want to take a chance on eating Italian. No, sir, I didn't. I tell you, the only thing worse than a fire station full of sissies is a fire station full of peeved sissies. They're all accusing each other of stealing some silk underwear or something. Boy, whoever said fighting fire with fire'd be happy in harvest. 'Cause we got a fire station full of flamers. Nice to see you again, Steve.
I'm glad to see you. I feel so alone, cooped up in here. I understand that bake sale is today.
Yeah, you'd think it was the second coming the way everyone is acting around here.
It's insane. The maniacal attention paid to this bake sale. Like all the women in Harvest came from the same cookie cutter. It's unnatural, unhealthy, almost a parody of how things should be. And through my window at night, I see my mother throwing out whole batches of cookies, like an automaton getting rid of its surplus product.
My so-called mother has been baking cookies all week, and then throwing them out. Better that than getting rid of us.
Wait around long enough. I have a feeling they'll get to it. I don't know if you heard or not, but Mr. Pastorelli, the barber, he's dead. Looks like somebody stole a barber's pole from him, then left the exposed electrical wires and some water on the floor. Pastorelli walked in, flipped on the lights, and... Know anything about that? Mr. Swell came by. I heard him telling my father about it. He said it smelled like roast pork.
Well, these things happen.
Especially around here. Come back and visit me soon, okay?
Did you say hello to your father for me? Thank...
You know, with a slaughterhouse full of meat in town, what kind of nutcase would steal a barber's pole? Oh well, Pastorelli won't need it where he is. God rest his soul.
You might want to be extra nice to Mr. Potsdam today, Steve. He was turned down by the lodge again. Guess we're having the wedding at Mr. Moynihan. The bake sale is tonight, 7 o'clock at the school. Lots of cookies and yards of floss. Hope to see you there. Give my regards.
Young man, we really have nothing to say to each other. I have the feeling your innards shall soon adorn my slab, and I'd rather not know the face of the meat I'm slicing. It seems that, like some elephant's graveyard, people of low station come to harvest to die. They simply drop dead, penniless, and they all need burials. Like that corpse in the chapel, all dressed up and nowhere to go. No mourners, no point. But I still must provide them with prompt burials by town charter, and absorb the losses myself. God knows, by putting these people up at the Wayward Hotel, I do more than my fair share. So why must I pay for the coffins and burial materials as well? My losses to the dead are substantial. Hopefully the bake sale will offset some of them. I do hope you'll attend the bake sale and spend heavily. It's for the needy, you know.
Sure. And all they have to do to benefit is die.
A ditch makes a poor resting place. You'll need to learn that, if you ever want to leave Harvest.
You make it sound like I have a choice.
A choice that is rapidly vanishing. Join the lodge, Stephen, while you may. The corpse reclining in the chapel right now is a prime example of the difficulties I face. For unfathomable reasons, this bum decided to wander into Harvest and summarily drop dead.
Just like that.
Indeed. He died of purely natural causes. Of that I have no doubt.
But why come to Harvest to die? You say this happens often. Isn't that a little too much of a coincidence?
I've often puzzled over the situation myself, though I can assure you, young man, that nothing untoward is happening in Harvest. On the contrary, it's an indication of our compassion that I put up hobos in the Wayward Hotel, and the Order of the Harvest Moon mandates their prompt burial, even when they are without family or means, and when it entails losses on my part. I'd say it's been a pleasure, but I find the company of the living so wearisome. You can't have that, Stephen. I need it for my work. And may I say you're a rude young man for attempting to steal it.
I was only going to borrow it.
Indeed. And have you anything I could hold as security?
How about the fact that you lied to me about that corpse in the other room? John Doe?
I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
If he just dropped dead, where did all those slashes come from?
I don't know what slashes you're referring to.
They were there.
Do you have any proof of these wild claims? Any tangible evidence? If not, I suggest you leave me to my work. You're spouting gibberish. I'd say it's been a pleasure, but You can't have that, Stephen.
I was only...
Indeed?
How about the fact that you lied to me about that corpse in the other room? John Doe?
I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
If he just dropped dead, where did all those slashes come from?
I don't know what slashes you're referring to.
They were there.
Do you have any... I'd say it's been... Ah, you've taken up photography, I see. Now why on earth would you choose such a grotesque subject?
That John Doe you got boxed up in the chapel? He didn't just drop dead. Someone helped him take the plunge.
You may be right. I'm a mortician, not a medical examiner.
You don't have to be to know that being ripped to shreds can be detrimental to your health.
This is not something you want to be looking into, young man. That's what we all want.
What game are you people playing?
A game we win or lose together.
Look, are you going to tell me what I want to know, or do I go to the sheriff with these pictures?
That would be a grave mistake, I assure you. I've told you all I can. My losses have been substantial of late, so I can't offer you money. The only thing I can give you in exchange for the photographs is my tube of astro glue. I do suggest you take it, or it's all you'll get from me. A wise decision. When a wasp's nest is stirred up, it is seldom the wasps who grieve later.
What a good boy you are. Have a cookie. Mercy, what a terrible thing to say. Isn't it, ladies?
Yes, terrible.
On the night of our bake sale?
Damn it.
Yeah.
Step